I never thought I'd sit down and make a video like this. Honestly, I've recorded it about 10 times already, and deleted every single one. But this time feels different, because I don't just want to share my story, I need to. My name is Lena, I'm 22 years old, and this is the story of how being myself almost cost me my life. Growing up, I always knew I was different. While my friends were crushing on boys in middle school, I was secretly writing the names of girls I admired in my notebook. First, I thought it was just a phase, something I'd outgrow. But the older I got, the louder that little voice inside me became, telling me who I really was. But in my family's house, different wasn't safe. My parents were strict, religious, and very vocal about how they felt about people like that. I can still remember the night we were watching TV together, and a gay couple appeared on the screen. My dad scoffed, my mom rolled her eyes, and they both said things I can't repeat here. I sat there frozen, my heart pounding, realizing, if they knew about me, I'd never be loved the same way again. High school was both a blessing and a curse. It was where I first met Sarah, the first girl I ever fell in love with. She was loud, fearless, and had this wild laugh that made you want to laugh too. But she was also my secret. We'd walk home together, sharing headphones, brushing hands by accident. Those tiny moments felt like electricity running through me. But with love came fear. Every time my phone buzzed with her name, I'd panic, making sure my parents never saw. I learned to lie, to hide, to split myself into two people. The daughter they expected, and the girl I really was. That pressure built up like a storm inside me, and eventually, it broke. The night everything started to unravel is burned into my memory. I was 17, sitting at the kitchen table doing homework, when my phone buzzed. 'Twas Sarah. A simple message. I miss you. But my mom walked in at the exact same moment, saw the smile I couldn't hide, and asked who I was texting. Panic. Delight. I said it was just a friend from school. But something in her eyes told me she didn't believe me. From that day on, the walls of my life felt like they were closing in. My mom started checking my phone, asking questions about where I was going, who I was with. My dad gave me lectures about sinful lifestyles at random, like he could sense something was wrong. It felt like every part of my life was under a microscope, and the more I tried to hide, the more obvious it became. Sarah tried to make me feel safe. She'd write me little notes, slip them into my locker, or sneak out late at night to meet me under the old oak tree near the park. Those nights were magic. It felt like the world melted away and it was just us. But the more we tasted freedom, the more dangerous it felt. Every kiss, every laugh, every hug in the shadows carried the risk of being caught. The breaking point came one weekend. Sarah and I went to a party, and for the first time I let myself feel normal. We danced, we laughed, and yes, we kissed. Just for a moment. But someone saw us. And the next Monday the whispers started. People at school looked at me differently. The boys snickered, the girls whispered, and by lunchtime, the whole school knew. When I got home that day, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Messages, screenshots, people calling me names I'd never been called before. And then my mom saw one of them. The silence in the room was louder than screaming. She looked at me like she didn't know me. My dad's face turned red with anger. That was the night everything I feared became real. That night turned my world upside down. My parents didn't yell at first. They didn't have to. The disappointment in their eyes was enough. My mom asked if it was true. My dad demanded an answer. And when I finally whispered yes, everything exploded. My dad shouted until his voice cracked. My mom cried like I had died, and I just stood there, numb, like my body wasn't even mine anymore. After that, home stopped feeling like home. I wasn't allowed to see Sarah anymore. My phone was taken away. I wasn't trusted to go out with friends. It felt like prison, but worse because I was trapped inside the place that was supposed to love me the most. I ate dinner in silence. I walked on eggshells every step. I cried myself to sleep almost every night. And school wasn't better. Once the rumor was out, people showed their true colors. Friends I thought I had disappeared. Some laughed at me. Others avoided me completely, like being near me made them guilty by association. I remember walking down the hallway and hearing the word dyke whispered behind me. The sound stuck to me like a stain I couldn't wash off. Sarah tried to stand by me, but the pressure was too much. Her parents found out too, and they threatened to send her away if she didn't end things. I'll never forget the day she told me it was over. We sat on a park bench, her hands shaking as she said, "I can't do this anymore." And just like that, the one person who made me feel safe was gone. I didn't think it was possible to feel that alone. But I did. The walls felt like they were closing in, and the world felt like it had no place for me. I remember staring at my reflection one night, asking myself, would anyone even care if I wasn't here tomorrow? And for the first time, I believed the answer was no. The night I almost ended it all was quiet. Too quiet. My parents were asleep, the whole house was dark, and I sat on my bedroom floor with tears running down my face. I had a bottle of pills in my hand. I was shaking so badly I could barely hold it. All I could think was, if I disappear, the pain disappears too. Felt like the only way out. But then my phone buzzed. Somehow, I had forgotten it was hidden under my pillow. It was a message from an old friend. Someone I thought didn't care anymore. It was simple. "Hey, I just want you to know I'm here if you need me." I stared at that message, and for the first time in weeks, I felt something other than pain. Felt seen. I didn't take the pills that night. Instead, I cried harder than I've ever cried in my life. But those tears weren't just pain anymore. They were release. They were survival. That one small message saved me. And it made me realize, maybe I wasn't as alone as I thought. It wasn't easy after that. Recovery isn't a straight line. It's messy, it's slow, and some days it still hurts like hell. But I started reaching out. I found online communities, I made new friends who understood me, and most importantly, I chose to keep living. I chose to believe that my story wasn't over. And that's why I'm here today, telling you all this. Because if you're watching this and you feel like I did, broken, unwanted, unloved, I need you to hear me. You are not alone. The world is so much bigger than the small, hateful voices around you. And even on your darkest night, there is light waiting for you. Sometimes it's just one message. Sometimes it's one friend. And sometimes, it's your own decision to stay.